Hello and welcome. Today I would like to talk about ASW, or Anti-Submarine Warfare, which consists of hunting submarines. I know, shocking. But first, if you haven't actually watched the submarine video, then I would probably recommend trying to at least skip through it, because it's always good to know the other side that you're trying to fight. It's very difficult to fight something that you don't know how it works. But the first thing that we need to look at is how submarine pings work. That is, remember when a submarine launched torpedoes? They would then send out pings that would make the torpedoes track on the enemy target, right? And this is something that the enemy can see on the minimap, just like this. Look at the minimap, you can see a circle appears. That's where the submarine is. And you can use this information to either take a shot on them, just like this. By the way, pay attention to the damage indicator in the corner, because there are no hit indicators. But I did deal a nice 7k damage to the submarine. And 7k damage is a good 80 to 90% of the HP of a submarine. So that's quite significant. And the reason I did so much damage is the same reason the Furious level bombers deal so much damage, because any kind of HE has these really large splash damage explosions, and those seem to hit the submarines quite hard. Anyway, the second part of the video is going to be me playing the Tier 6 Royal Navy destroyer Icarus, and I'll be hunting down some enemy submarines. By some I mean all of them, I think. Actually, I don't know. Well, at least two. And the reason Icarus, because she has a hydro, and this makes her a lot safer against submarines. Now you might think, oh, you have a hydro acoustic search, so you can actually find submarines, right? Well, no, you can't, because hydro doesn't work versus submarines. But it's actually something slightly different than most people think. Most people think, oh, hydro doesn't work against submarines? Wow, that's so dumb, that's so stupid. But actually it's more that all destroyers have access to something like hydro for submarines. So if a submarine is close enough to you, then they will be spotted. Or at least there will be an indicator indicating where the submarine is, where you basically just have to sail to then press the G button. And under, you can see on the hotbar, I have the G button, which is a new consumable, which is the depth charges. And they actually have 3 charges, so you can press it 3 times to throw up a whole bunch of bombs into the water. And they do seem to have quite a large radius of explosion, or at least radius that they deal damage from to submarines. Anyway, other than that, it's still, a regular match that you have to deal with, although there are quite a few bots on both teams. You can see that's a Nuremberg bot. By the way, the cruiser that just pushed, that one wasn't the bot, so perhaps, oh, you can see, bearing taken on enemy submarine, and now we have an RPF-like indicator that there's a submarine in that direction. I don't know if hydro helps or doesn't help with this. I don't think it helps, but all the destroyers should get this kind of an indicator when a submarine is close enough. I'm guessing the submarine is behind the island over there. But first we have to deal slightly with the destroyer, because trying to chase that submarine down right now is suicide. Because, they have a Fuso over there, a Nuremberg, a Hatsuharu, the submarine, and even that Navy. I'll try to help my friendly submarine that's being made friends by the Navy, but I think our submarine's dead. Yeah, there she goes. The Navy just sailed over her, pressed the G button, and then the submarine went down. Or actually, I guess she was already down, so... She stopped fighting, okay? Anyway, let's torpedo the Fuso and just keep shelling, because we first need to get rid of the battleships to be able to try to hunt these submarines down. And hopefully our Fuso will be able to help us with this. Okay, there's the Navy. That's another ship we have to deal with eventually. Hopefully my torpedoes will be able to hit the Fuso, and then that should accelerate the speed at which we get rid of her. Anyway, I don't want to fire because my smoke is dissipating, but we are going to take the cap in a moment. Come on. Oh. Destroyer entered the cap on the last moment, or at the last moment. I'm spotted. Since I can't see what's spotting me, it's very likely that the ship that's spotting me is the submarine. I suppose in that case it's a boat, isn't it? But that's actually something that I'm not sure how much is being tested right now. We can see the cachalot over there, the enemy submarine. But that's actually an aspect I don't know how much has been tested. That is, what's going to be the effect of submarines on destroyers? Because submarines can outspot destroyers, especially when they go into periscope depth. And that's actually a pretty large problem, potentially, for destroyers, especially ones that rely on stealth. Anyway, right now first we have to take care of the Hatsuharu, and I'll just start smoking to try to hide, because there's also a Navy on my side, so 2 versus 1 and I only have half HP. I can't stay where I am though, because Hatsuharu probably torpedoed me, so I do need to maneuver a little bit at least. But since there's nothing else around here, I can just keep shelling the Navy. And I should be okay. Even if I'm spotted, I don't think there's anything that can shoot at me. Okay, let's take care of these surface ships. Come on. I know there's a submarine somewhere around here because they're too slow to go anywhere. Okay, Navy is gone. Time to hunt the submarine down. Actually, do I want to? Because the submarine could have sailed technically towards the Nürnberg, in which case this is kind of a waste. I'll try taking a shot, although the HE of destroyers is nowhere near as effective as the HE was with the Fuso. Especially since you actually have to be able to hit somewhere around the submarine. Yeah, I don't even know if it's worth taking this. Okay, actually it is worth taking the cap. Because the Nürnberg is sailing away, so unless the submarine wishes to surface to contest the cap zone, we should easily be able to take this. But I mean, both sides have around, well, they have 5 ships now, we have 7. We have 2 submarines, they have 3 submarines, so I think we're winning really hard, because submarines just can't carry against multiple surface ships, especially destroyers. Destroyers have a really easy time just dealing with the subs. Although it is possible for a submarine to deal with a destroyer. If a submarine gets really close to a DD and then goes into periscope depth, they could potentially catch the destroyer off guard and just torpedo them. And as far as I know, depth charges aren't quite as effective when you're at the surface, if they do anything at all. I don't actually know. Anyway, it's time to go and try to hunt the enemy submarine down. We know where she is. Actually, we know where 2 of them are, and 2 friendly submarines are in that general direction. Well, okay, 1 submarine is in that direction. The other one was taken care of by the Fuso's secondary guns. I do have a smoke screen, so I can always just easily go and chase the 2 submarines down that are in the big cap. I tell my teammate that torpedoes are launched because we saw the indicator on the minimap, and you can see it right now. The Bayan is probably getting pinged. Also, I've locked onto this cachalot in front of me. That's actually quite far, 3 kilometers away. Damn. With no hydroactive either, so I don't think hydro matters at all. I taunt the enemy a little bit about how I'm going to press the GG button to finish her off. Although she is at full HP, so it's not exactly finishing me off. I'm gonna hydro just in case to potentially dodge torpedoes. I tried to use one of the depth charges from this far away to see if it goes through islands, and apparently it does go through islands, as you can see. I mean, she did take damage, at least some form of going through islands. But now I'm gonna take care of her, and I'm gonna shoot the other submarine. And this should finish her off. But just in case I drop the last one too. And goodbye, little cachalot. And now it's time to try to chase the other one. 30 seconds until my depth charges are up again. So I'm not actually sure, even if I get on top of her, if I am able to sink her. I do need to disengage from the Fuso and the Pepsi, I guess. Okay, now that that's done, I can just accelerate and I should be fairly safe. But yeah, depth charges are fairly interesting. You basically have to get in the general area of the submarine, and if you get close enough, the game locks on immediately to them, and you just sail somewhere there. It's close to it, and just depth charge away. It's actually more interactive than it was at first, and I do like the way it works. Like I said, it makes destroyer play more interesting, because it's another thing for destroyers to do. And there she goes. So, we've taken care of 2 submarines, and it seems that the third one on the enemy team is actually capping the sea cap. So, let's go take care of that. I mean, she has to be on the surface to camp, so once she dives underwater, we will be easily able to catch up to her. Because, well, I know that she's somewhere in the circle, but she isn't exactly fast. Although she did take the cap, I suppose. But I do expect her to die. Oh no, she didn't die. So now I know where she is roughly. So this actually makes it even easier. And I still have Hydro going, so I'm not going to be surprised by torpedoes suddenly. Because one torpedo could actually finish me off, I think. And we have locked onto the submarine. So we know where she roughly is. I only have 1 depth charge right now. But I suppose the second one should be up soon enough. I wonder what she's thinking right now, because it doesn't appear that she's really moving much. And she is not in periscope depth, I think. So I'm just gonna start... Oh, wait. Oh my god, I just ran aground! What? Damn, underwater rocks. Well, I can't move right now. This is actually quite bad. I'm gonna drop the second one too. Hopefully it will deal with the submarine, because she could easily just surface and torpedo me. That would be quite bad. Oh no. Oh no! The depth charges weren't enough? She's still alive? This is incredibly dangerous. I need to run away, just in case. Because if I was in the position I was earlier, I think the submarine would have eventually surfaced, or at least gone into periscope depth and then torpedoed me. Now though, I should be on the other side of the submarine, so she does have a torpedo launcher on the aft of the boat, but it's only 1, I think. Oh, there she is! I guess she ran out of oxygen. So, time to deal with her. Come on, guns. Although it's only 6 seconds until depth charges are up, so that'll deal with her. I guess I could already press the button at this point. And it's the G button to, you know, to be goodbye. For some reason the animation actually stops animating. You still hear the sound effect, but the animation kind of stops. Anyway, there goes the last submarine. See? Destroyers are pretty good at anti-ASW, right? And I think it makes destroyer play more interesting because they have more things to do. Well, I do think light cruisers probably should also have access to ASW of some kind, and maybe even a little bit of heavy cruisers. But, I mean, so far it's kinda okay. The main annoyance I just have is that submarines take up the spot of surface ships, meaning that if you're playing a battleship looking for some nice battleship versus battleship gameplay, well, if you get submarines, you're gonna be slightly disappointed because you have fewer surface ships to fight. Anyway, the game's over. Oh, one other thing. This all is still a work in progress, obviously, so, you know, things are possible to change. And 2876 base XP. Well, number 2 is at 1300. I suppose it makes sense. I mean, I did almost all of the damage to 3 submarines, right? This would be kind of the same as sinking 3 full HP battleships, more or less. I mean, it's going to give you a huge amount of XP. And 23k damage from the depth charges. That's actually almost as much as I did with HE total this game. Yeah, I do enjoy ASW as a submarine, and even as a battleship it's actually quite fun at times. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Martin Wolf, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.